show you how my Microlocs look. Don't mind these little flakes of this edge control. I have to wash my hair. I haven't washed it since I got my Microlocs, so it's about time. So as you can see, I have a grid. And my hair is pretty curly, so this is just kind of how it looks. And I'll show you how it looks from the back. From the side. And I got to be mindful of my edges because I was using some edge control and I don't want my edges to break off rather. But that's how this hair looks. And I'm so satisfied with it. Love them. I hope you get some. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Shani Collins-Woods, and this is the Ask Dr. Shani channel. On this channel, I talk about all things related to self-care or self-compassion, faith and spirituality, and healthy boundaries. I'm an assistant professor of social work, an author, and an inspirational speaker. And so for today's video, I'm going to be talking about my Microlocs journey. So if you are new to this channel, welcome and nice to meet you. And if you are returning, thank you so much for following me, for subscribing to my channel, and for just staying in touch with me as I just talk about these various topics on my YouTube channel. So again, to everyone, welcome. Today I'm going to be sharing a little bit about Microlocs, which I have had for approximately 1 month today. Today is November 19th. So in 2014, that was the last time I had a relaxer put into my hair. So I have been natural for almost 10 years. I haven't had a relaxer or anything in my hair. But in the past, just since I was a little girl and going through college, grad school, all of that, I've had, relaxed hair. I've had hair that was, I think at one point I had a texturizer. I have had very short hair where my hair was really, really low, like a Toni Braxton cut. And I've had longer hair, medium length hair. I've had natural hair, any style, colored, non-colored. For the most part, I have experimented with my hair and, at various points in my life. And so I think that's a common experience for most women. And so, again, haven't had a relaxer since 2014, which I'm very grateful for. I really enjoy wearing my hair in sort of a natural way. So since 2014, I have, had various styles like braids, protective styles. I've had a couple of sew-ins, things of that nature, just to really protect my hair. But for the most part, my hair has been out and just kind of in a curly, sort of like a curly little afro. You may see some of my videos where you can kind of see generally how I have been wearing my hair. And all of 2022, I wore medium length, knotless braids in my hair because I was just like, ooh, sometimes dealing with your, afro, your natural hair, it gets very time consuming, and natural hair is very much a high maintenance process. So I was just like, let's get some braids in here. And I had a wonderful stylist, Jaisha, who, put braids in my hair, and we would go through that process of just kind of getting them redone, and being mindful of my edges and things of that nature. So she told me, I want you to pause on the braids because I don't want your hair to get damaged. So I did take a pause on. So the last time I had braids was February 2023. I had learned that my father was transitioning and preparing to go to heaven. So I was like, Jay should come on braid my hair because this is going to be busy, next few weeks, and I'm not going to have time to really sit down and as I'm preparing for my father's transition to really, be dealing with my hair. And so I got my hair braided in February 2023, and it is now November, and I haven't, had any other style in my hair besides the Microlocs. And so over the summer of 2023, I went to Jaisha a couple of times and like, I've been seeing these twists, these 2-strand twists on social media, and I really like them. And can we try those out on my hair? And really what it was just like putting a grid in your hair, which is a little bit bigger than what I have, and just 2-strand twisting that all over. And I made another video that kind of talks about that, and where I talk about kaleidoscope products. And so I just wore that for a couple of months because I was really thinking about just perhaps wearing twists or something like that. I wasn't sure that I wanted something permanent. And so, but I had been seeing the twist, and when you look at the twist, the 2-strand twist, a lot of videos lead you to Microlocs. So I was like, okay, what is this? I've never heard of Microlocs. Is this something new? It was just flooding, over social media. And once you start looking up one thing, it's just gonna keep putting that in your face. And so I said, hey, I think this style may be something that I am, interested in. I'm not sure if I'm ready to take that leap, but let me see how my hair will, take, even if I just wore the twist, and see how long that will, just last, and how I can go to work with that, so forth and so on. So I did that. I would get my hair twisted and wear them twisted, intertwined for like a few weeks, and then when they started to get old, I would just unravel and just kind of let my hair be, and it looked very much similar to this. And so I was like, okay, that's something that's feasible for me, that it is manageable for me. So I gave it a trial run, and then I really started to talk to my husband Timothy, because he's had locks for over 20 years. So he has long locks, which, I consider him to be a lock expert. If you have a style for over 20 years and have maintained it successfully, you're kind of like an expert. And so I just say to him, I'm thinking about locking my hair up, but I'm not sure which style. So he would give me some advice and recommendations. But of course, I was doing my own independent research to really figure out what would work best for me. But Timothy was really suggesting, Shani, you really have fine hair. He was like, my hair is a little bit more coarse than your hair, so your hair is going to take a little bit longer to lock up if you get some. So I would suggest you get some small locks like the ones you're looking at, Microlocs. And so that's the kind of directions I knew I was going to head in. I knew I wanted to get them by the end of 2023, but it was just a matter of finding the right stylist and having the timing be appropriate. But also I wanted to research and weigh the cost. And so I'm going to get into a few points. Okay, so again, why did I want the Microlocs? Again, I did the 2-strand twist for about 2 months. I got a feel for how my hair would look. So I kind of was like feeling more confident that Microlocs would be a style for me. And I knew that after having those 2-strand twists all summer, that it would be okay for me to sort of transition into a style that was more permanent, because really I was looking for something that was going to be less tension on my hair, and something that's independent of the braids, because otherwise I'm just gonna be putting braids back in my hair, and that's not the healthiest thing. So I wanted something to still give me my natural hair with no chemicals, no processing, but something that I could that would be flexible and convenient for me, that was going to be low maintenance. And so that's why I selected the Microlocs. Like I said, I was looking up 2-strand twist at first, because this was all kind of new to me. I saw the twist first, and then I started to see the Microlocs and learn about interlocking and the different ways that you can get your hair locked. So that's essentially why I chose Microlocs, for the diversity, for the convenience, for the low maintenance style. And they were in a price point, because I knew they would be pretty expensive, but it was something that I felt like I had prepared for financially. And so that's why I selected Microlocs, and I do not regret my decision. So some advice I would give if a person is looking to start Microlocs, or if you are looking to transition to any like form of locks or things of that nature, would be to start with healthy hair. And so again, for 1 year I was wearing those braids over and over again, but I was also using kaleidoscope products to really make sure my hair was well moisturized and healthy. And so I was going to a beautician, licensed cosmetologist, to get my hair touched and shampooed, X, Y, and Z. So I would say start with healthy hair, get your ends clipped. When I went into my stylist who did my locks, and I'll get into that conversation, she did clip my ends, and she put a scalp treatment on, so that was important as well. But she was really complimentary about my hair and saying my hair was very healthy to start with. So if you're thinking about it, make sure you're kind of coming in to help your stylist assist you by starting with healthy hair. Your process doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm not a hair person. I have really never been. That's why I need somebody to do it for me and to do things that are low maintenance. But I did try to maintain, the integrity of my hair when I had the braids, because I knew that, I just wanted my hair to be healthy, X, Y, and Z. Again, I would suggest doing a trial run. For example, I mentioned that I had already, had a similar style for 2 months. So I knew the length of my hair. I knew how it would kind of be when, when I did choose to get the Microlocs. So it's not very much different than the 2-strand twist, except I have interlocks, which are an instant lock. So my hair is no longer 2-strand twist. And if I were to take this out, I would literally have to cut all my hair off, because this is permanent. It does not come out. It's not like the twist where I could just unravel them and just, wash and shampoo my hair and, comb it out and just, go back to wearing an afro. I cannot. This is the permanent style in my hair. And I knew that from wearing the 2-strand twist for 2 months, like getting that style like at least twice, that my hair would start to lock up like about after a month. And so, because it would get a little tangled or a little, and whereas this, I can comb through it with my hands, but with those twists, my hair was starting to get a little tangled, and that was the indicator for me. Okay, like, go ahead and wash your hair, and because you're not locking your hair up with these 2-strand twists. You're just kind of doing this as like a trial to see how your hair will look if you choose to get Microlocs. And again, I would also say, in addition to starting with healthy hair, doing the trial run if you can, using some twist or something not permanent, I would also say ask other people who have locks. Look on YouTube. Again, like I said, my husband has had locks for over 20 years, so he was a really good resource, and telling me about like suggesting smaller locks just because of the texture of my hair, X, Y, and Z, and for whatever reasons, and because he's researched locks for many years. And also my sister has locks. I would shoot ideas by her, but YouTube was a really good source, and also Instagram. And then I would just ask the stylist, Jasha, about some things that she thought. And then my last thing would just be to, as you're thinking about getting your locks, make sure you have a consultation. Consult with a licensed cosmetologist, but don't get ripped off. And I'm going to make a separate video about my first consultation with the cosmetologist in Nashville, Tennessee. And let me tell you something, that sister was trying to, she was just doing the most. And I was just like praying about my hair. I was like, God, I know I want to do Microlocs. I've done trial, I've done my research. I'm pretty confident that this is the direction that I want to go in, but I need somebody who's going to be, a permanent person, while I'm here in Tennessee, because, this is who I'm going to be going to, and I want it to be the right hands in my head. That's really important, okay? Don't let anybody just put their hands in your head, and don't let people rip you off, because Microlocs are so popular now, like sister locks. Everybody's, getting their hair locked up, which I think is beautiful. It's beautiful to see, it's beautiful to see on social media, but sometimes people want to like take advantage. But I also believe in paying people what they are worth. But I'll go into why I feel like this particular first consultation, this lady was trying to play in my face. So I was like, I'll pay you your little money for this consultation, but you will not be seeing me again. So after I had my first consultation, I was like prayerful, like, okay, God, you're going to send me the right person when it's the right time. Timothy happened to go into a local store here where we live and saw a woman with her hair. He was like, he stopped her. He was like, my wife, excuse me, ma'am, my wife really, is interested in this style. Who did your hair? And she told him the person's name. And thank you, sister, for, not gatekeeping. Anyway, she shared the information, and it happened to be Sharon, of Roots of B Brown, who I already had been to some years back before the pandemic. I think I had been to her once. And so God worked that out, where somebody I was already familiar with, who had done my hair and also had done my husband's hair way prior to the pandemic. So I would say probably 2019. And you know how sometimes you just go to a person one time, they just give you great service, or you're just looking for a one-time style and you don't go back. Well, it was a person I already knew. So the woman who did my hair, beautiful experience in her shop, her name is Sharon Brown. Her salon's is titled Roots of B Bea Brown. Sharon is from Mississippi. I am from Mississippi. We're from the exact same hometown, and that was a coincidence when we met a few years ago. Now, why didn't I think of Sharon initially for my lock appointment? I don't know. You know, I had no idea. But I just did not even, it just didn't even occur to me to like look in your phone, girl. You already know somebody. It just did not occur. So you may already know someone in your phone who does locks. Okay. So look in your phone and try to think about the people who've done your hair in the past. But Miss Sharon provided an excellent experience for me. So let me get into timing, get into pricing, and just talk a little bit about my overall experience when I went to get my hair locked up. Okay, I'm going to start with the basics. So when I realized that I already had Sharon's number in my phone, I was like, okay, perfect. Thank you, Lord. Tim already saw somebody whose work, she's done. So I just went to her social media page, her Instagram page, looked up the styles. I already knew she could do it because she's an expert in natural hair. And as she had done my hair maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I had a beautiful experience then. It's just that I just started getting braids or just got busy with caregiving or something. So I just didn't go back. Not a no beef or anything. It's just I just didn't go back. And I think Tim went like on 2 occasions, and then we just the pandemic happened, life happens, right? And so I text her. I said, "Hey Sharon, it's Shani. I'm interested in getting some Microlocs. Will you, can I, schedule a meeting to come in with you, X, Y, and Z?" She replied back. I was like, yeah, Sharon was just like, just pop up, but I was like, oh, I want to schedule an appointment because I don't want to, be coming across like, unprofessional. I just kind of want to schedule an appointment because I don't know what your time may be like and my schedule is. So let's kind of coordinate. So eventually I did go into her shop, which is a very nice shop. And she looked at my hair. It was like sort of out in a natural, like I had my hair in a big afro. And she was like, "Oh yeah, girl, you ready?" "Oh yeah, girl, you ready? Just get on my calendar." And so she sent me her style seat information. And I'm going to post all of her information below so that you can go support a sister, a black business, going to give you professional excellent service, and she's not going to be trying to rip you off. And so make sure you tip sister. Okay, make sure you treat her well because she's going to treat you well. I will share that information. So if you know someone in Middle Tennessee who wants Microlocs, go to Roots of B Brown. Okay. And so I got on Sharon's calendar and we set the appointment for October 19th. And I went in for my appointment, and it took 15 hours for me to get the interlocks. So I'm going to show you my hair. And how the process started off was, Sharon went right to work. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get a whole lot of video. My sister was like, "Oh, are you recording?" I was like, "Girl, no, Sharon is about that business." She's like, let's get to it. And so she works really, quickly. She was prompt, professional. And so what she did, she started in the back of my hair and sectioned it. Oh, well, first of all, let me say this. For all the clients that come into Roots of B Brown, you get luxury treatment. And so she started with, making sure she parted my hair, combed through my hair, put a solution on my hair to really cleanse my scalp. Okay, you're not starting with dirty hair. No one's just coming in and working on your hair without it being clean. To cleanse my scalp and to shampoo my hair. So she did a really good cleanser. She put that all through. It really felt like sea breeze and some shampoo, but it felt really nice. I was like, "Ooh, what is this? I feel like my scalp is so clean." And so she did that. Next, we went to the shampoo chair, shampoo, condition, detangle, because again, my hair was healthy, but I'm gonna tell you, my ends were not. So it took a little detangling, and you know how your natural afro can be. It gets a little bit tangled up, and so my ends needed to be trimmed. After that, I was placed under the hooded dryer. I think probably for about 20 minutes. I don't even think it was that long. I can't even remember. But I was under the hooded dryer for a bit. And after that, I went to the chair. And Sharon just got down to business. So she started in the back with the grid, and she just went through and she interlocked each and every one of these strands you see on my head. I'm going to come closer to see. And this was not, there are 3 ways you can get Microlocs. You can get them braided, which is basically starting with the grid. So the grid is, you know, what it looks like, little sections all up throughout your hair. And you can get those little sections of your hair braided like a normal, you know, 3-plait braided. Or you can do the same thing, start with the grid, the different parts, and you can get them 2-strand twisted, and then your hair will eventually lock up. Or you can do the more permanent or the instant lock, which is what I have, interlock. So Sharon sort of, you know, provided a lot of direction to me, because I was just like, she was like, well, which way you want it done? And when I went to for my consultation, I was like, I don't know. I didn't even know it was different ways. You know, I'm not, I don't know. You tell me. And so she was like, I got you. And I appreciate that, because I need some direction anytime I go to the beauty shop. That's just been my whole life. Tell me what hair to get. Tell me, I'm that type. Tell me, because I do not know. So you need to tell me. Okay. And so I can have some ideas, but I may not know it specifically. And oh my gosh, when I used to try to get a sew-in, so I used to be so bad about that hair. We're like, what is it? Which brand, which version, Remy? What do I get? That's why I'm natural. And so she went through, and I used the interlocking method, which is, you can go on YouTube and look it up. It's just like you're combing your hair. You're sort of like going through and looping your hair. And for each one of these, it was done all the way down. And it's not that like 3-point interlock. She wasn't doing that. This is a different form of interlocking. Almost, if you've seen people install sister locks, that's essentially the process that was done. But this was for, again, micro locks. And so we started at about, I would say, 11 o'clock. She was kept saying that's when I put my first lock in, 11 a.m. And ended at about 5 o'clock the next morning. And I was there the whole time. Miss Sharon did provide food, drink. There was a restroom, X, Y, and Z. We were safe, secured. And so, you know, her clients still came in, regular clients. And so she worked, and I got tired, honestly. And I was like, you know, can I come back tomorrow? Because I'm getting a little tired. And then, you know, she wasn't ready to quit. You know, she was like, I'll respect whatever you want to do, but I can still go. And so I said, all right, Shani, you step it up. Just push through. You know, you're just sitting here. But, you know, you get a little restless. So I was like, you just sitting here, Shani. Push through. And I think I dozed off, and the next minute she was like, okay, we're done. It was like this little section up here. I was like, oh Lord, thank you, Jesus. But I so appreciate Miss Sharon Brown, number one, for her professionalism, number two, for taking me on as a client, because I know she's booked and busy, number three, for the experience I had in her shop, number four, for you know, just being a person who is not only just concerned about your hair, but concerned about your customer experience, and just concerned about you just as a woman. So I had a really good experience getting my hair done, and the price was fair. I think, you know, if we were in a different city, the price would be a lot higher. And so I will share her style sheet information, so you can go on there and research the prices for yourself to see what you can expect to pay if you choose to go with Miss Sharon from Roots at B Brown. And so again, I just had an amazing experience. No complaints. I was satisfied with everything, and you know, I would highly recommend her services to anyone who's interested in getting microlocks in Middle Tennessee, and you aren't trying to you know, pay an arm and a leg, but you know you will receive exceptional service for the locks that you get put in your head. And so I will share that information. So again, I highly recommend Microlocs. So for the past month, I have just found my hair to be beautiful. I went to a social work conference. I enjoyed it. All I do every night is a very simple routine, which I will share in another video. I will try to make a series. I have a very simple routine, not a lot of products. So all those products that I was using before for like my afro, like all this curly cream and stuff, half of that stuff is just there. I'll probably donate it to someone or trash it, because you just don't really need it anymore, because Microlocs are so low maintenance and are very just, you know, hey, you can unravel, untwist your hair and run your fingers through your head and go. I have to be mindful. I have some like build up here, because I said it has been 1 month. And so I've already scheduled my appointment for my 7-week retie or interlock again to get my hair done. So you know, Miss Sharon told me to come back every 7 weeks, you know, make sure to keep the appointments. And so I've already booked my appointment, and I'm looking forward to the first, you know, retie, and I'll do a video on that so you guys can learn about the experience. And I'll post some videos too so you can see the back of my hair and to see how it is. But I'm in love with it. And it's so funny when I was going to work, because you know I teach at the collegiate level, and you know, some of my students, my Caucasian female students, were like, one of them was like, you have some Microlocs. And I was like, girl, how you know? And she was like, I'm always on TikTok and I watch it. And she was telling me about pricing and everything. And I said, how you know, you know? And it's just amazing, because the people who have commented on my hair, some of them have been like, some of my white students, and they've been like, you know, I like your hair. What's that? Is it different? Is it it's something different? And of course, a lot of people have been giving me compliments, and I also try to give that compliment right back to them, like, hey, your hair is beautiful as well, or whatever. So, you know, I'm just in love with them, obsessed with them, and I'm so grateful that I took the time to kind of do it on my own terms, to research the process. And I'm grateful that God sent me Sharon back around to us so that we could be a mutual blessing to one another. I had a great experience in her shop. So that's all I can say about Microlocs. And like I said, again, I will tell you that this is a very much low maintenance style. It's a very style that is very diverse. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, and it doesn't require a whole lot of extra, which is probably best for your mental peace and just for your hair as well, because you know, sometimes we can get so busy with doing different things to our hair and the gel, the edges, and doing all of that, and sometimes the hair is just like, let me just be and let me just breathe. And so that's what I feel like. I can breathe. I'm not pressured to have to try to figure out, oh my gosh, did I twist my hair at night? Because is my afro going to come out the right way I want it to come out? Those things of that nature. So I love the Microlocs, and I hope that you found this video to be helpful for you if you are thinking about getting Microlocs. Again, research the process, you know, have a consultation, but make sure this your stylist or whoever you're consulting with, especially with somebody on Instagram or social media, make sure they're not trying to rip you out, because this is a hot button hairstyle. I mean, it's not a new hairstyle, of course, but it's very popular. You know, Microlocs are very popular now. And so research the process. Make sure people aren't trying to rip you out, because I did kind of experience a person, I felt like it was on some little shady boots type of stuff, but you know, that's okay. God led me to Miss Sharon. So look through your phone. You may already know someone to do locks. Again, research the price. You know, start with healthy hair. Get your hair in a healthy place. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be in a place where your stylist can really have options with your hair. And make sure, you know, you talk to your stylist up front about the pricing, and about, you know, the type of locks that you want, because again, there are 3 different ways. You can do the interlock, you can do the 2-strand twist, and you can do the braids. And make sure you're distinguishing, like, if you want sister locks or Microlocs, which are, you know, kind of different things. Sometimes the process may be similar in some aspects of it, but they are different. So think through those things and let me know how your journey goes. I hope that you enjoy Microlocs if you get them, because I am certainly enjoying mine, and I look forward to seeing how my growth is going to be and where my hair will be, you know, this time next year or even in the next 6 months. So thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you have questions about Microlocs, drop them in the chat. I'll try to, you know, to address your questions, and let me know how your process goes. And if you want to see more videos or content about Microlocs, please let me know, and I'll try to upload that to my channel. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.